they call me. I promise that you never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me.
Hi guys, I'm Aaron Bull. Give me a second. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. Okay, alright, here we go, I think. Alright, so hi guys, I'm Aaron Bull, and I want to talk to you about this Opportunity Zones initiative that was a provision provided under the 2017 tax law signed by your President Donald Trump. I recently read an article about TI and a number of others going to Capitol Hill to encourage investment in underserved communities, basically seeking to get investors to invest in black communities. TI is seeking to create the Avengers of black investment or black investing, which I am wholeheartedly for. There are a couple of things that we need to know and understand about the whole scenario. Number one, collectively, Black America owns 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth. Number two, prior to this, okay, let me tell you about the 2017 tax law for these opportunity zones. Basically, there will be a 7-year capital gains tax deferral on companies that invest in what they call urban and rural underserved communities, aka black communities, places where we live. Now, prior to this initiative even being enacted or whatever, we have already experienced this under the name of gentrification. Okay, I think some of you may be watching the Masters or golf tournaments or whatever, and you have seen Tiger Woods play on a golf course named East Lake Golf Course. About 10-20 years ago, that used to be East Lake Meadows. If you have ever ridden on Donnelly Hollowell, you would know that as Bankhead Highway. Bankhead Courts, which, rapper T.I. has rapped about in his initial records, was Bankhead Courts, is no longer in existence. Carver Homes, Herndon Homes, Allen Temple, the list goes on. So, number one, the fact that we only own 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth would imply that we do not have enough collective wealth to be the sole investors in our community. So we're going to have to accept that there will be outside investors coming into our communities. Now, what we have to do as a people is be prepared to protect our communities from further gentrification. This law or this little tax break that the companies get for coming into our communities under the auspices of improving and revitalizing them, there are, from what I have seen, there are no restrictions, meaning there are no requirements for this company to come in, create a business, and contribute to the community. Because just starting a business or opening a business in an area or in a community does nothing for that community if you are not hiring from that community, if you are not investing in the schools or the activities in that area, if you are not providing parks or recreations, supporting the sports teams in those areas. If all you are doing is opening a business in a community and taking the community's money back to yours, you are not investing in us. You are not investing in our communities. So black people, what we have to understand, number one, I am all for black investment in black communities. All for it. But what we have to do is form a collective and be prepared to link up and unify to protect ourselves from gentrification, because the Opportunity Zones initiative is part of federal law. Therefore, there are no discretionary or discriminatory practices allowed or anything like that. That means that whoever can invest. So there is nothing that the only thing that we can do is be prepared to vote to block these initiatives, depending on what they're bringing, and we have to get in touch with city councils and legislators and things like that to make sure that there are requirements in place for these businesses that are going to come and so-called revitalize our communities to truly contribute to the community. because currently an issue in the black community is that we operate our communities off of like 2% of our wealth. 2% of our income stays in our community. 98% of it goes to other communities. So you have a community like the white community, which operates off of almost 100% of their income and 98% of ours, while we are only operating off of 2% of ours and 2% of ours. So we have to be aware of this. I wholeheartedly agree that we have underserved areas that deserve attention, resources, revitalization, but it should not require displacement of those residents. And if we have companies like real estate investors and whatnot that are going to come into these communities and revitalize our neighborhoods, housing projects and things, then they should be required to form an agreement with those residents that yes, we will shut down your housing and displace you, pay you to move, but as soon as we finish the renovations, you will be first in line. You will have the first opportunity to return to the land from which we displaced you from. For businesses that come into the communities, if you are going to come into this community, you cannot bring your own employees. You need to hire from that community. In places like Chicago, where black men between the ages of 18 to 25 are unemployed at about 50%, we need jobs. We need jobs. So we don't need your business. We need our businesses. We need jobs. So if we cannot create our own businesses, at least if you're going to come into our community, give us a job, give us an opportunity. And don't sit here and run this, oh, well, it's about qualifications and hiring the best, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you're talking, because number one, right now, the facts that I have are for Chicago. I know for a fact that ages 18 to 25, black men are unemployed at 50 to 60%. 18 to 25, that is high school graduation to college. So therefore, you can find qualified candidates for employment. So I'm not going to fall for that. And black people, we cannot fall for that. Understand what this really means about these opportunity zones. We have seen gentrification of our neighborhoods. We have seen our housing communities and housing projects shut down, and we have been displaced. If we sit back and just invite these outside investors in and receive nothing, then that's what we will end up with, is nothing. So I'm not here to hold you all day. I hope you all have a wonderful day, but please be mindful, be prepared, and be aware of what these opportunity zones really mean. And again, I commend T.I., Charlemagne the God, and those others that are seeking to invest in our black communities. It needs to be black first. It needs to be black first. We need to have a black investment firm, a black collective, or some sort of co-op, so that smaller investors can link up to where we as a community are now a large investor in our own communities. There are options, there are ways that we can use this to our advantage, but we must be aware and be prepared. So as always, I am Aaron Bull. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with your friends and family and leave your comments. I will see you soon. Have a great day.